everybody, my name is Kurt, aka Vitruvian Gamer, and well, this is a short video in which I'm going to address a few rules, clarifications for 51st State. So maybe you already noticed I'm doing a playthrough for this game, a solo playthrough. It has a solo variant, and well, I have had a few questions that came up a couple of times, so I want to address them, and here we go. So, first thing that I have been asked if that was correct is, well, you know, each time you had your turn, the virtual player gets his turn. First he will try to get the contact cards, and if there are no contact cards anymore, then he's going to try to attack you. Now, first round, he attacked, of course, but I didn't have any locations. Now the question is, does the virtual player attack when there are no locations in play? Many people think he or she, I'm not sure, would not attack, he would just pass. Well, that's not correct, so I played it correctly. I asked the designer, Ignacy Cevicek, so the virtual player, and those are his words, the virtual player is a little bit stupid. He will attack even though there is nothing to attack. So he will try 3 times. If there's no location, he fails. If he fails 3 times, he passes. So that's something to keep in mind. That's the first rule. Now the second thing I had a question about, or questions about, was somewhere in the first video around the 28th minute. I exchanged iron, these little tokens here, I exchanged them for the grey contact tokens with the action from my faction. So that's rhymes, so with the action from my faction. So here you get the action here, spend 1 iron to gain 1 grey contact token. Now this action you can do only once normally, but since, and let me just grab another one. So let's take those merchants again, the Merchants Guild. So as you can see, the Merchant Guild has spent 2 to gain 2, and also the other ones are different. Spent 1 gun to gain 2 of those red contact tokens. So the exchange rate isn't that great for the Texans, but what they do have, and as you can see, the merchants don't have it, is this extra line here, this extra text, which says choose 1 action from your faction board, spend the goods needed to activate it again and gain the reward again. So the Texans, they can do this action twice. Now I did that correct, but I absolutely forgot to mention that these Texans have an exception to this rule. So normally you can only do this once. I had a few comments about that. You were completely right, but the Texans, they are allowed to do so. So that's 2 things that you wanted to know. Now I saw one more question on Board Game Geek, not because of my video, but there was also a question when there was a card. I'm going to just take it, I'll shuffle it afterwards to play further. So you have these cards like the Wrecked Tank, and as you can see, if you build the Wrecked Tank, then you gain victory points. Now the question I saw on Board Game Geek is, when the virtual player gets this card, does he score these points? Well, also the answer from Ignacy Cevicek was no, he doesn't. So all the text on the cards is not important for the virtual player. He just scores points for each location he still has at the end of the round. He scores points when he raises one of your locations, and he scores points when he gets a connection card. So that's the most important thing. Also, another question I saw was if the virtual player raises one of your, if you raise one of your enemies, so the virtual player's location, well, if you're raised, you get, well, the ruins, and you get also the resources on the deal. Well, the virtual player, when his location is raised, he gets nothing. So that's another thing that has to be clear. So those are the rules you asked me about. Those are rules I saw questions about on Board Game Geek. So I hope that helps. And well, pretty soon part 2 will be online. I think maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. And I hope you are there to watch it and to comment and like it as you did with the first one. Pretty good viewing rate, so that's great. So thank you for watching this. I hope everything is clear now, and I see you all in the future. Bye bye.